told you about some information we were just getting into CNN a short time ago, and that is that Julian Assange, the founder of that WikiLeaks website, the website, of course, that has put out tens of thousands of classified documents from the military related to the war in Afghanistan. Well, he has, in fact, now is wanted in Sweden on charges of rape and molestation, and he is also responding this morning via Twitter. Our Atika Schubert is on the line for us now from Italy, who has been following this story. Atika, what else can you tell us this morning?
Well, basically, it all started with this tabloid report by Expressen in Sweden saying that there were charges of rape and molestation against Julian Assange. We have now confirmed that with Swedish Prosecutor's Office. Those charges were issued last night, and they have not been able to make contact with Julian Assange in the meantime. I have not been able to contact Julian Assange. What I do know is that from Twitter, he has obviously put out a Twitter posting saying, quote, "The charges are without basis and their issue at this moment is deeply disturbing." He also, in a previous Twitter posting, said we were warned to expect, quote, "dirty tricks." Now we have the first one. So this is a very surprising development in this case. We don't know where Julian Assange is right now. We do know he was in Sweden just a few days ago. But right now, he could be anywhere.
He could be anywhere. And again, reminding our viewers, the video you're seeing, and that's a face and a name you have been seeing a lot over the past several weeks because of the leak of so many classified military documents in relation to Afghanistan. But that is Julian Assange, the man who does run that WikiLeaks website that put out so many of those documents. And Atika, we have been standing by. He has been telling us for the past several weeks that, in fact, we could expect more documents. Has there been any update there? Do we know the latest on when we might see more classified documents come out from this WikiLeaks site?
Well, WikiLeaks and Julian Assange have been saying that they were going to release another 15,000 documents, part of the Afghan war diary that was already released. These were documents that were held back because they were going to redact some names of Taliban informants from these documents. They'd been asking for help from the Pentagon and from others to try and go through these documents, take out any of these names that might endanger people. It's been an ongoing issue for weeks, but WikiLeaks has said that they were going to go ahead with the release and that they would do it within a month or so. So we're still waiting to see whether or not those documents will be released eventually, but this obviously really throws a wrench into works. We'll have to see how this is going to affect WikiLeaks' plans.
And one more thing to you here, Atika. You said he was in Sweden, you said just days ago, but oftentimes we don't know where he is. Where does he spend much of his time, and how much time does he spend in Sweden these days?
Well, he does spend quite a bit of time in Sweden simply because some of WikiLeaks servers are based in Sweden. Sweden, as you may know, has some of the world's strongest media protection and whistleblower laws. And so he has been trying to set up basically an operation for WikiLeaks to come under Swedish law protection by trying to get a publishing license, for example, in Sweden. However, he really travels all over the world. He's Australian. He's been in Australia. He was in London up until recently. He was in Belgium attending a conference. Really, he pops up around the world, and he doesn't have a fixed place called home. So he may still be in Sweden. He may not. We simply don't know.
All right, Atika Schubert, we appreciate you hopping on the line for us. I know you're following this story. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again throughout the morning. But again, to our viewers, maybe just joining us here at about 8 minutes to the top of the hour, just getting confirmation that, in fact, Julian Assange, the man behind the WikiLeaks website that has put out so many of those documents, classified U.S. military documents related to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, he has now been charged. They are looking for him in Sweden. Prosecutors there telling us, in fact, that they are looking for him on charges of rape and molestation. Right now, as you heard from Atika Schubert, we do not know where he is. He does bounce around an awful lot, not a real home, as Atika just put it. So we don't know where he is, but he is responding via Twitter this morning that these charges are baseless. And again, saying, in fact, that he expected some dirty tricks as he thought some people would come after him because of the information he has and putting it out there in the leaks, if you will. So Julian Assange right now, a story we are following this morning at 8 minutes to the top of the hour here on this CNN Saturday morning. Quick break. We're right back. Again, the breaking story we're watching right now, Julian Assange, the founder and editor of the whistleblowing website WikiLeaks, is now facing some serious charges in Sweden. Charges related to rape and molestation. I want to bring in Karin Rosander, who is Director of Communications at the Swedish Prosecutor's Office, is on the line with us. Ma'am, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And tell us how much you can about these charges.
Yeah, he's arrested in his absence, accused of molestation and rape, and he was arrested in his absence last night.
And you said in his absence. Do you know where he is? Have you all been able to make any kind of a contact with him?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You still hear me okay? Again, this is TJ Holmes. I hope you can still hear me here, CNN in Atlanta. But my question was, do you all know where he is, and have you been able to make contact?
No, we haven't so far.
Do you know where he is?
No, not at the moment.
When did these incidents allegedly take place, this molestation and rape, and are they related to the same one incident?
There are two different incidents, and I don't know when exactly they occurred, but he was arrested last night, as I said.
You said you don't know when they occurred,
no,
but
I don't.
Are we talking something in the recent past or maybe the distant past?
I don't know anything about it, actually. We have very little information at the moment.
Well, do you, I assume you said two different incidents here. What can you tell us about the alleged victims?
I can't tell you anything about them because I don't know anything about the victims.
Well, how were you all able to bring the charges? It sounds like there's not much that is known right now about this.
No, that's very correct. There have been reports to the police, and then the prosecutor in charge decided to arrest them.
There were charges made, and again, forgive us certainly here in the United States who are in the legal system, a lot of people might not understand the same there, but again, someone has come forward with an allegation, and the prosecutor decided to go ahead and issue, like you said, an arrest in absentia.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
When did,
but who these people were, I don't know.
When did they come forward?
I don't know that either. I just know that he was arrested in his absence last night.
Can you tell us what kind of punishment comes with these kind of charges in Sweden?
Yeah, for rape, there is a possibility for imprisonment. Molestation normally don't get imprisoned for.
Ma'am, do you anticipate it being difficult wherever he may be to get him, if he's not in Sweden? You anticipate it being difficult to get him back there?
It could be difficult, but it's too early to tell.
And something he has said in the past couple of weeks is that he expected some kind of dirty tricks because so many people were after him.
Okay.
Did you anticipate, or I shouldn't say anticipate, but just to get your response to something like that with him making allegations and saying that people were going to come after him for whatever reason because they want to try to find a way to shut him down?
I don't know anything about it, really.
Did anyone else have a hand in this besides the Swedish officials and the people that came forward, simply just came forward on their own? Is that what you understand?
As far as I understand, but I don't know, really.
All right. Well, again, Karin Rosander, again, on the line with us from the director from the Swedish Prosecutor's Office. Ma'am, can you tell us at least what's the next step in this case for you guys?
The next step is to try to get into contact with him, to interview him.
Will he be taken into custody?
It's too early to tell yet, before he's been interviewed.
But he can be charged in Sweden and arrested before he's even interviewed and before he's taken into custody?
He can be arrested, and he can be under arrest for 3 days. Then the prosecutor has to decide whether to step further. And if the accusations aren't strong enough, they have to release him.
It's all right.
So it all depends.
Okay. Well, Karin Rosander, again, with the Swedish Prosecutor's Office, ma'am, we appreciate you hopping on the line with us for us. Thank you so much. But again, to our viewers, certainly can tell it works differently than we're we're used to it working here in the U.S. with our legal system when it comes to certainly charges this serious of rape or molestation. But apparently, according to her, he can be taken into custody and being held for 3 days, and then the prosecutor can then decide whether or not to move forward. So to hear that he has been arrested or even charged right now with rape or molestation simply means he needs to be interviewed now, can be held, and then another decision, according to the lady from the prosecutor's office, then another decision can be made about whether or not to move forward with the charges. So again, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange facing these serious charges, but right now they were trying to get a hold of him and interview him, and then we can see where the case will go from there. Quick break, and we're going to be right back to wrap up this half hour of CNN Saturday Morning.